taking on the Tennessee Titans.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
Taken at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The NFL's active leader in rush yards, Derrick Henry.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Titans at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
Derrick Henry, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And now it's 3rd down.
You talk about this Bengals defense.
They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Levis on 3rd down.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Back deep for Cincinnati, the rookie Charlie Jones.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
On 1, ready? Hey, we gotta go score.
And Boyd in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep and a run up the middle with Mixon.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Here we go,
Now 2nd and 3.
11. 11, Thomas. 12.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
If for some reason you doubted Chase's elite ability, how about this? Missed 5 games last season, still reached 1,000 yards and made the Pro Bowl. His name always at the forefront of the game's greatest playmakers.
11 mighty. 11 mighty. Stop.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You talk about this Titan defense.
They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
11, 11. 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Stop.
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 34-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Thomas. 11 MT Tate. 11 MT Tate. Stop.
They will throw on first down with Burrow.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Bengals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Evan McPherson for the extra point.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good.
Evan McPherson, the kickoff for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Henry again on 2nd down.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try to run for the... And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run for it with Henry. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Jones on the return. It'll be a net of 39. 41-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
36-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here we go.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 9.
11, Thomas. 11, Mighty. 11, Mighty. 11, 11, 11.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
That one complete down the field to Smith. Look at the big fella go.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Herb Smith Jr.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. McPherson on for the point after.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
14, Titans nothing. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. Inside the 20.
And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
11 MT, 11 MT. 12, 12, 12.
Here's Burrow. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. It's Roger McCreary with a pick. And the Titans are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Intercepted. The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Loss of 7.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Now here's Levis now on 3rd and long. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Kevin McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
The Titans on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Levis in trouble. Down he goes. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jones on the return. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 46-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here's 2nd and 10.
12, 12, 12.
Mixing up the middle. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's 3rd and 6.
11, 11, 11.
From midfield now, Burrow. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is Brad Robbins to punt for the Bengals. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense. countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
That's good for a Tennessee Titan.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Levis in trouble. Down he goes. Logan Wilson
Able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. On the return is Jones. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. He goes 67 yards on the punt return.
and the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
And as soon as they hand a rookie his playbook, they say you better make your mark on special teams if you want to hang around. I'd say returning one for a touchdown will definitely leave a memory.
Yeah, that's a pretty indelible mark here early on in his career. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Inside handoff, Henry. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Play action now. Levis. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Meanwhile, Levis is through.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
11 mighty. 11 mighty. God.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals open the lead up to 34-0.
And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. And after all that, they're going to start out with unbelievable field position on the return. So after the blocked PAT, they're ready to kick this one off.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Levis to throw on 1st and 10 here.
And this one's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Second and 10. 2nd and 10. Here's Levis. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Levis to throw once more. That pass taken in by Burks. And he will have the Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down.
Levis sets up to throw here. That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield.
Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
That's another Tennessee Titan. 1st and 10.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Levis looking to throw.
And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
And Levis going back to the air.
They set up the screen for Henry.
Down inside the 10. And the Titans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Levis, quick completion out wide.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
Henry will score. Touchdown, Tennessee. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. On the return is Charlie Jones. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
On the return. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Mighty, 11, 12, 12, 12,
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half.
On the return is Jones from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the 2nd half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball. When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
11, MT, Tate.
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down, eluding the pressure right. His throw incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. On 3rd down, Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
12. 11 MT.
They go play action with Burrow. Short throw to Smith. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
From the 46, here's the second down and 4. Burrow on play action. Goes right back to Smith again. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 25-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
11.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. First and 10 in the red zone. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
And the Bengals are going to be set up with a first and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
11. Stop.
Mixon, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
11 Thomas. Stop.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 58 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Another powerful run and another workhorse season in the books for Henry. Let's take a peek at his numbers. He's led the NFL in carries and topped 1,500 yards for the 3rd time in 4 years. In addition, 5th straight year with double-digit touchdowns.
First and 10. Here's Levis. This one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week. Second 10 coming up here in Nashville. Third quarter action. Back to the air on second down. Levis. Complete. It's Henry. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play. 3rd and short. It's Levis. And that will be incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
4th down, Levis.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position.
Here we go, here we go. 11 MT, tape. 11.
Now it's Mixon running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays. And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Once again, they run with Mixon. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be Titan football.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. And Levis tosses his 3rd interception of the game. It's DJ Turner who's got it.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Let's get set. 12, 12, 12.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
One, ready?
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon.
An 18-yard touchdown run.
And the Bengals are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard.
take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
There we go. Back.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hope.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it.
And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
They'll take over first and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10.
18 Cardinal.
They run with a rookie. It's Chase Brown.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
We've seen that before. Jeffrey Simmons making a stop behind the line.
At the 17-yard line.
Another run for Brown on second down.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That second down play nets a -4. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So on fourth down on is Evan McPherson and the Bengal field goal unit. McPherson's kick is good.
But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. The bottom line.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Chase Brown
with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Bengals add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here we go.
Behind the chain, second and 12.
To throw is Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
46 down, man, 5-4.
Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And it would seem as if their three-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
139 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down.
And he'll go down at the 28. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
Okay, break.
And they take a knee. And they will take a knee here. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Let's go now.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep of protest out of them. That's just who they are.
One final try now for Wentz.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Bengals, that early momentum continues here.